Yo, 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 it's your boy Sean Puff. I'm here with Nick Missile, and this is Smarks, Spot Monkeys, and Super Geeks.
Let's go. Hey.
I've been trying to hit that longer and longer every time.
That's funny. That's funny. Because then by like the end of the year, it's gonna be like, ooh, like.
Oh, I know he's gonna be shutting me off. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's the episode. That's the show, dude." Well, what's up, everybody? It's great to be here. Of course, Lionel on the boards doing all the production work over there, keeping us on time. Nick, glad to have you back.
Hell yeah!
I mean, you were
it's a
here
pleasure.
before.
It's always a pleasure.
Right, you were here before, but you weren't here because that episode kind of the lost episode.
Yeah,
the lost episode already. Which
the
is
focus was on Anthony anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
we'll get back. That'll be get back again. We'll be doing that again. But man, we got a great episode for you this week. Of course, I saw everyone's been on that reel about next week's episode. Next week, Hulkamania anniversary. So make sure you check that out. But this week, we're gonna review Hard to Kill, a Smarkside review. TNA Wrestling back at it. Went from TNA to Impact back to TNA. This is their their second pay-per-view.
Second
back as TNA, but like their first one now that they're like officially formed and doing their thing. So
I haven't watched TNA honestly since they switched from Impact.
Really?
So it's been a long time. It's been like
that 8-sided ring or 6-sided ring or whatever.
Like when they had Mr. Kennedy type shit on there.
Oh, geez, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Wow.
So I'm excited that they're rebranding, getting back to it.
I feel like they needed to do it because like Impact just had a bad rep.
Yeah.
Like, everything they went through with what's her face? I can't think of her name, the woman that was running it. But they just had a lot of bad rep from that. And then all the stuff with Hogan coming in and Bishop coming in, and they just kind of like ruined everything there. So it's good to see him getting back to basics.
Yeah, definitely like after a decline too,
Right. And this show was great. We had a lot of surprises showing up. It was funny leading up to it. I felt like the lead up to this show was kind of lackluster. They kept like their tagline for the show was "You won't believe who might show up."
So how are they doing like the promoting process? Like?
That was kind of it. That was the promotion. Hard to Kill. It's TNA. We're hard to kill, and you won't believe who might be here. Like,
who?
Really?
Like, is Jeff Hardy even still in that bitch?
Jeff Hardy's in AEW now.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Okay.
He needs to retire. We're gonna get on the Hardys. That's a topic we're gonna talk about a little later today. I'm sure Lionel's ready for that one. I'm sure you got some ready for that when we get to the Hardys. But so Hard to Kill. It was last Saturday night at Las Vegas, Nevada at the Palms. So
it's been hot as shit,
right? Saying got all the places to do your first.
You can stream all that on Peacock and stuff, right? Or is it?
No, it was actually on Fight TV. So TNA has their own app, kind of like the WWE app, kind of like Peacock.
Yeah.
Except they're weird. It's the same prices you would pay for any of the other, like if you had New Japan or if you had WWE's app.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't play all their pay-per-views.
I'm confused. I clearly don't know anything because I thought it was like under the WWE.
No, because WWE was trying to buy it and they bought like some of their catalog.
Yeah.
Some of the past catalog, but they never officially bought the whole company. It's owned by Anthem.
Oh, okay.
So Anthem owns them right now. And the whole basic of their app is weird to me. Their minor pay-per-views are free on the app. So you pay $10 a month. You can watch all the regular shows.
Yeah.
You can watch all the old stuff. You can watch the main pay-per-views down the road, I think.
Oh, but not right away. Not live.
Not right away. They put them on Fight TV or Trill or whatever the hell it's called now.
It's kind of like how like Fox handles all the football games, and then sometimes they get on ABC and NBC, and you can stream it on the app. But if you don't have cable, you can't watch the Fox games. Like
right.
It's stupid.
I don't like it because I'm like, if I'm gonna pay you $10 a month to watch
I should be able to.
I want to get all your pay-per-views.
That's what I'm saying.
Some of them, and then the crappy ones I get for free.
Especially if you own it too, like
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's under the umbrella. Like
the good ones, you send them to Fight TV, and then go pay $40. What is that? Why am I paying you $10 for? I was actually pissed because my subscription to the TNA app renewed like the morning of that show.
Oh, do you pay yearly or?
I paid monthly. It's like $9 a month, but I wouldn't have renewed it because I knew that the pay-per-view.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Their app doesn't make any sense. So if there's a pay-per-view that's not on the app, I pause it or cancel it for a couple months and wait until there's a pay-per-view on the app because I don't want to pay for a month for it if I ain't gonna watch pay-per-view.
I do the same thing with football.
Right.
Honestly.
Like, I ain't playing that game. So I was kind of mad because it snuck through on me and I was like, damn it, got $9 out of me.
Yeah.
Whatever, though. It was a good pay-per-view, not on the app. So if you want to watch it, you got to go find it on Trilla, Fight TV, whatever that app's called right now.
Have you ever paid for a UFC fight?
Yes, I have. All the time I pay for UFC.
They're like $60 a pop, too. Like, oh my God.
Now, I have a buddy who does. He'll usually order UFC fights
So
and
just
ask me to come over and we just all throw him like $10.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's the way to do
Makes
it.
sense of it. Yeah.
When you're watching it like with your friends and stuff. But yeah, so what were the matches like?
So we started out, they had 3 matches on the pre-show.
Okay.
Which is interesting because WWE, usually it's 1 match. Pre-show, you got like, you spend an hour talking about everything that's going to happen. And then they give you 1 match in the middle somewhere. Kind of get pissed off because you got to watch all this filler about stuff that you already know. I guess I get it.
Backstories and background stuff.
Right. I guess I get it. Like so you guys come over to my house to watch pay-per-view, you don't know all the backstories.
Yeah, that's true.
So the pre-show's
they
good
gotta give
for
you the storyline and stuff like that.
But for me, I already know.
Yeah.
I just want to see the match that you have on the pre-show. I don't want to watch all this other crap.
Exactly.
So
it kind of gives people time too to show up, you know, if someone's running late or something like that.
That's true. But they did 3 of them. So we had Rich Swann taking on Steve Macklin in one of the matches. Steve Macklin came out with the victory, and it's funny because people were surprised about it because Rich Swann's kind of like one of those guys that is a big fan favorite. Personally, guess what, Lionel? I don't like him.
Didn't see that one coming.
Hear me out, though. My reason for not liking Rich Swann is my same reason for not liking the New Day. He's the same thing. He's he's TNA's dancing WB Frog. He just comes out shucking and jiving and dances all the way to the ring, and then he gets beat up and dances all the way to the back. It's like, come on, man. Bruh. Why's it going to be like that? You're just going to be that black guy that just dances and gets beat up. You're dancing for the man. Come on, stop it.
Man.
I hate that.
This was last Thursday, you said?
This was Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rich Swann came out, lost to Macklin. I kind of expected that to happen.
Yeah.
Then the next match, they had Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian, they brought back a lot of originals and old guys. So this was 2 older guys taking on Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers.
Oh, nice.
The heels won that one. Myers and Eddie Edwards won. It was a pretty decent match there. But again, pre-show, you don't really get into the pre-show. You're kind of like half watching it.
Yeah, it's just background stuff like that.
Right. You're like, all right, who
throw
won?
it on and just let it play.
Who won? I don't really care about that. Then we had the Digital Media Championship, the main event of the kickoff show. Kind of a funny thing that they do. It's always weird to me when you put a title on your kickoff show.
Yeah, like the first one is just the title immediately. Like
right, I'm like this isn't the real pay-per-view yet. You're gonna give me a title match before, and that kind of take away from the meaning of your title.
I mean, I guess it's a cool way to open it, but they really should wait. Like main events should be title matches and stuff like that, or closer to the main event. Right, you can't just kick it off but I guess, title's on the line immediately. Like.
I guess in a way it's kind of the end of the kickoff show, so it's the main event of their pre-show.
Yeah.
They throw like a lower title.
True.
It's the Digital Media Championship, which is kind of like their version of a television championship.
TV championship.
Yeah, digital media. So it's only defended online all the time.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And that was Tommy Dreamer defending against Crazy Steve. And this match, funny, like people expected Crazy Steve's not the guy. He's not going to beat Tommy Dreamer. And I felt Tommy Dreamer is like 89. Why does he have a title in 2024?
That is wild.
Like seriously, like you remember Tommy Dreamer way back ECW?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still wrestling.
Love ECW.
Some of them just like we got to start a geriatric league or something because that's like out of control.
Don't you know? Like at some point, just stop. We don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't even move like you used to move anymore.
Yeah,
you're doing that.
You can tell when they get rusty and they just start jumping off the rope and they're just looking like, ah!
Right.
We're gonna croak.
The thing with Tommy Dreamer is he'll just take bumps. He's like, I don't care. Just beat me up, slam. That's what I've been doing my whole career. So there's that side of it where he makes out because of that. So
makes sense.
Good match. Crazy Steve takes the title. Some people were upset because they feel like Crazy Steve's not the man.
Yeah.
Me, I like Decay. I love that whole group they had before his Decay that he was in. And I just think you had to move off of Tommy Dreamer and put it on somebody that says TNA. And that was the right move to do. True. Right thing to do, get it off him and put it
That's true, because they always have wrestlers coming in from WWE, freaking ECW, all these other branches like AEW, and
and that,
they don't have a TNA like representative, I guess, like themselves. Like,
and Tommy Dreamer, he kind of represents TNA, but he's ECW. Let's be real, he's an ECW guy, WWE guy. He's not a TNA original. So when you're rebooting the brand, I feel like you take the title off of him. He was a good place marker to carry that title into the change and the brand change and have a familiar face as they're becoming TNA. And then take it off and put it on someone that's going to like move the brand forward. Whether he keeps that title for a while or not, I don't think it matters.
I love me some ECW back in the day, man.
Shit. ECW, I would love to see them like bring back ECW. GCW.
Yeah, that was good too.
No, well, GCW is an indie right now that's very much like ECW. They're like the closest if you were to take anything that you watch today that's not mainstream.
So do like local shows or?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of them at, they used to do them at FET in Providence.
Oh, nice.
But I guess they had an issue with ownership there and paying out things, and we all know how that goes.
He said, I don't like them. I do not like those.
So we get to the regular show. We get PCO versus Dirty Dango.
Ooh.
PCO, he's another guy. He needs to go away. He's another guy that's just way too old. His gimmick is like he's like Frankenstein's monster. Literally, they burnt the dude alive and he came back. Like, what? I'm like, how? Like they electrocuted him and burnt him alive. He like exploded, caught fire and everything, and then the next show he's back and he's back from the dead. And PCO was Pierre Carl Ouellet in WWE. So if you remember way back when they had the Mounties. Remember the Mounties?
I don't think so.
So there was the Mountie, and then the Mountie brought in like another guy to be his partner, and then they had a tag team called the Mounties. And then they got rid of that team, and Pierre Carl Ouellet became a pirate.
Was that like WCW era? Like
no, it was like right at the beginning of the Attitude Era.
Oh, okay.
Right at the very, very beginning of it, when they were just like throwing stuff around and doing weird shit.
Yeah.
And his gimmick ended up being a pirate for a while. And now he's Frankenstein.
Sometimes this man Vince just runs out of ideas.
Yeah. Well, everybody does. I feel like no matter what.
Yeah, that's inevitable. But
because there's only so many ideas you can have. You got to start retreading them. But I mean, this guy is just. I've been over him for the past 5 years, maybe more. So he won the match. He beat Dirty Dango. No one expected him to lose because he's Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, Frankenstein won.
Yeah. But it's like he's not good. Like, go watch a PCO match and then tell me afterwards in the chat. Be like, oh, I watched that, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I see what you're talking about. He's just like he doesn't move.
Gets so ridiculous. I feel like
So we had that match to open. Then we had a Knockouts Ultimate X match. So I don't know if you guys know, Ultimate X is it's kind of like their version of Money in the Bank, but it was made for the X division. So basically, on each corner, there's a post that goes up into the air. From those posts are wires that go across to another post, and in the middle of that X is an X hanging on a clip.
So you got to grab it.
You got to get up there, climb across the
monkey bar it.
Basically monkey bar across the wire to get the X down, and then you can get a shot at whatever title that's for. This was for the women's title. It was interesting because sometimes I feel like they do these matches like, oh, we want to give the woman the chance to shine, right?
Yeah.
But they don't take things into consideration that they should. Like, for example, women are smaller than men.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you're mad at me for saying that, I don't have to tell you, it's just science and physics.
Exactly.
How the fuck it is.
Exactly.
So, like, one of the spots, one of the girls is hanging from the thing, right?
Yeah.
And the spot is one of the other women comes and grabs her and pulls her down and power bombs her.
Damn.
But she's not tall enough. so
she had to kind of
she had to get underneath her, right?
Yeah.
And then the girl had to look down and make sure she was safe underneath her. And then she she's like grabs her legs, and you can tell she's supposed to pull her like onto her, but she couldn't pull her because she couldn't really grab her.
So she had to drop.
Had to kind of like let go and drop down and make it look like she was still trying to hold on. It was just ugly.
That was my first thought when you mentioned like the wires, the monkey bars, like having to sit up there and like hold yourself.
Right, it takes a lot of.
It's physically taxing. Yeah,
but I get it. Like I'm not saying that these women aren't.
No, of course.
Physical specimens.
Yeah, of course. They're very strong.
Men
you gotta be.
naturally have more upper body strength.
Yeah.
And I'm sure not everybody, I know it.
Well, we talked about this before. Like, you have to be able to actually sell it in order for it to still be entertaining to a certain degree. So I get that. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think is going to be able to help them like start understanding that process better? Or are we just going to be stuck in this space for a while where it just gets more fantastical as we go?
I think right now we're at that spot where people just want spot monkey stuff. They just want that more. Let's do more. Let's do more. Let's do more. But you're right. We have to hit a point where someone says, "Okay, this is too much. We got to go back. Stop."
Yeah.
There's gonna be people calling it fake again.
Right. But you go back and you look, like you watch like Rey Mysterio when he first came out, Owen Hart when he first came out, Jushin Thunder Liger. Those guys were doing some of this stuff and it was great then.
True.
Now it's watered down because everybody does it.
That's the problem.
True.
If you overdo it, you oversaturate the market.
And then you're setting up spots that aren't possible to be done.
Yeah.
Like I hate the like I can't stand if you got spots, whatever, make it happen, but make it make me believe it. I don't want to look at it and be like, oh, look, she jumped into her arms. She jumped onto her shoulders to power. She was right next to the X. She could have reached and grabbed the X, but instead she let go.
She had to go on. Yeah, right.
Right, and you can see she's like stretching herself to try to kill him. Like, come on, grab my leg.
Yo, this reminds me of this meme that I saw, and it was Rey Mysterio looking up at the Great Khali, Mark Henry, and Big Show. And then the caption was, I stopped watching wrestling when Rey Mysterio won this match.
Right. Man, we were talking about that last
I was crying.
That's when I stopped.
He said, that's dead ass when I stopped.
Dead ass. Like, what is going? That's literally when I was like, all right, too much cat for me, guys. I gotta go. Time for me to pack it up. I became the SpongeBob.
Yeah. At some point, you got to be able to like sell it more and like make it more believable.
Make me believe.
Yeah.
You can only get me to. You can only go so far.
But TNA is like they do a good job at, for the most part.
So
they're like the old ECW, you know what I mean?
Giselle Shaw won the match. I kind of wanted Tasha Steelz to win. She's like that. She's the Puerto Rican representative on that show. So like she's kind of like that.
Hits close to home.
Yeah. But Giselle Shaw ended up winning the match, and it's funny. People were like Giselle Shaw, and I'm like, yeah, she fucks the booker. Of course she won the match. You're surprised that the woman who's sleeping with the booker won the match to get a shot at the world title. Really?
Oh, man.
Like, obviously she was locked in at the beginning of...
Clearly.
Right. And she's also put in a spot, one for that, but two, because, and some people don't know this, but Giselle Shaw is a trans.
Oh.
So, and it's funny because nobody knew it. This woman came out of nowhere, made it big into wrestling, and it's funny.
That's dope.
But it's funny, because you know how dudes are, right? So, oh, look at this girl. And there's like a lot of dudes that are into wrestling that like those muscular women, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she's dope. She's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the hottest thing.
Squats.
And then you find out, oh, she was a dude. Wait, what?
That's why everything goes out the window for these motherfuckers.
I don't know. Does it? We get a new day. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wait, what? And then the next one is, wait, what? It's all about how that wait, what comes out, brother.
She's sleeping with the booker. I'm saying she's sleeping with the booker, and he's like, it's not like he hides it. So it is what it is.
True. This is like a touchy subject because like everyone always gets mad when it's like, oh, these trans women are in a male-dominated, not like
trans woman going into a sport and taking a woman's spot.
Exactly.
And I get that. And so wrestling's a little different.
Yeah, wrestling's different.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about the act, and it's not like it's definitely a physical.
It's not way different, but it's different enough where like you can set those parameters up where you can protect the I don't even know how to call it. But when it's like MMA, it gets a little dicey. Right. There's no limit. I might crack.
That's what I'm saying. It's a touchy subject, man. It's a touchy subject.
Like, oh, I'm a girl now, but no, you're not. You just beat that girl up. We could get into a whole thing about that.
Yeah.
So there's a trans wrestler in AEW that I can't stand her. Nyla Rose. But here's the thing. To me, part of it's like how you present and who you are, right? Because I feel like a lot of that, and whatever, I don't care. We're gonna get into
like how's the persona, how's the personality?
No, not even that. Just you in general. So I'm gonna take this. We're gonna like sidebar here. I'm gonna go down this. I'm gonna.
So you're saying like how you like present yourself. Like...
So Nyla Rose is a trans who is married to a woman and still has a penis and presents herself as a woman. Nah, dude, you're a dude. I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, I feel like you're allowed to identify however the fuck you want to identify.
We could get into a whole deep conversation. See, I don't think that you can just do that. I can't pick my own.
I feel like you can do what you want. I just don't have to subscribe personally.
Right.
I'm happy with you doing what you want.
Yeah.
Because that's the freedom of like what we live in, right? Like, but I don't have to subscribe as like general society or me and my family dynamic to absolutely adopt. I can respect who you are.
Yeah,
you come
right.
to my
No,
house,
for sure.
to my space when you're around. I can respect that. But then I also have the right to go back to my reality.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like you should have to respect that other person's reality, right?
Exactly.
So whatever you want to do in your own privacy, in your own home, wherever you want to be, that's fine. But don't tell me that I have to acknowledge you as this when that just doesn't make sense to me.
I got into a whole argument about this with someone the other day because he said some really disrespectful things about trans people openly on Facebook.
That's different when you're being just disrespectful.
And he was like, I don't like when people push their ideals on me and stuff like that. Like, I'm allowed to feel this way. I still respect trans people. And I'm like, I get it, dude. But what you said was rude as hell. Like, you can't just be saying that. It's hurtful. It's harmful.
But sometimes that happens because people are feeling like you're forcing your belief on me.
Yeah.
And part of this whole thing is, part of the whole conversation is, hey, you got to accept me, but if you want me to accept you, you got to accept me too.
Yeah, I get it for sure.
That's my thing. So like, I feel like those conversations they shouldn't be relegated to the internet. Because that's where it gets messy.
Exactly.
You're not having a one-on-one transaction where you can get to know each other. You're having what you perceive to be a one-on-one, but now you got the whole peanut gallery in there watching this divulge. And now you have that pressure of like not wanting to be wrong because you know there's eyes watching this conversation go down.
Yeah.
This dialogue is not in its organic state.
Rather than one-on-one talking.
What we've seen is that when people go into space and actually talk to each other about this topic, like human to human, we understand that it's all just about respecting your bubble and mine.
Yep.
Right.
But on the internet, all bubbles converge.
Yeah. My girl says this all the time. It's hard to tell someone's tone through text.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
You could like, this person could be completely chill, be like just chilling with you, and then you think they're being rude or like they're...
I'm very robotic in my typing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been accused of that many times when it's like,
nah.
Maybe I'm just a little wacky because I just think I'm just talking. You
know
what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's no tone to like, because the thing with me is like sometimes you can't mask those feelings too for other people because other people are just emotional sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Like, some people take it, even if I say it in the best tone I possibly could say it in, they still just weak, bro. Like sometimes I just gotta be like, all right, cool, I understand what box you're in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for like a mom or a sister or when I'm dealing with my friends, especially my male friends, I'm not saying that we can't confide each other and can't lean on each other, but we also should be able to challenge each other. Right. And say, all right, bro, that's enough. You cried to me about this a month ago. Now it's time to let the other nut drop and let's get back to work.
Yes.
My homegirl posted me on Snap, a funny ass video of me on Snap, and then someone swipes up and he's like, oh, is that Nick? And I was like, oh yeah, my boy John. Like, tell him I said what up. And he was like, I don't even know him like that. Like, what do you mean? Like,
since
I said what up.
This topic real quick so we can get back to it. Since we're on this topic real quick, because we did have another one that came up earlier I sent to you. I want to know your feelings on that. Since we're in the realm of the female wrestling side. So I sent you a thing earlier where it was talking about, was it Jacqueline coming back?
Was it Jacqueline?
It was in the group message. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, wow. I think they took that post down.
Something you shared and now it's gone?
Yeah, they definitely took it down.
I hate that.
They be hating.
I hate
that.
No,
here it is. So Jacqueline Moore was talking about coming back. Even in her 60s, and we were just talking about this earlier about like all the wrestlers all popping back up and trying to get back.
Like if The Rock could come back, like why can't I? If Vince can come back, why can't I come back?
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing.
She said I would hope I could return to WWE with Vince McMahon, Triple H, or somebody. Y'all can call me. I still have a little left in the tank. I still have a little left for the game. So if you can return Trish status.
Oh yeah, Trish Stratus,
can return, and John Cena can return. Jacqueline can return too, you know? That's what I'm talking about.
I actually had to do my research on her.
So my thing with that is it's gonna fall down that same path that we were talking about last week, where people are gonna be, oh yeah, you gotta bring it back. You know why? She's a black woman. So black people are gonna be like, oh yeah, of course you gotta bring it. They're not gonna bring it back because she's black. No, listen. I am not gonna pay to go see Jacqueline wrestle. Yeah, Trish Stratus shows up. I want to see her. The Rock shows up. I want to see him. John Cena shows up. I want to see him. Jacqueline, I'll pass on that.
But don't you think that like some of that is like a derivative of it being such a male-dominated sport, especially in her era? You don't think that there's possibly, if she has, because especially you might meet some veteran female wrestlers from the era, if she can still sell like she could.
Yeah, for sure,
you might need some of them around to get the Jade Cargills and all of that up to speed and yada yada yada.
That's the reason they even brought back Trish.
I just see like some like veteran. You know how football teams are. We keep a couple of veterans on the team to train the culture and still keep them with a profile. You don't think that we can find a good blend there?
Maybe, but here's the thing. I find that a lot of wrestlers, like in order to be a wrestler, you gotta have ego. So you gotta bring someone in that has this ego and be like, all right, we're gonna bring you in and you're gonna lose every week. Wow, you brought me back to lose. And again, now that's gonna go down that whole IWC. The internet wrestling community is insane because they just bitch and complain about everything.
Yeah.
And black wrestling Twitter, you don't even know. I'm gonna introduce you to black wrestling Twitter. I know you know about black Twitter, but black wrestling Twitter.
I can only imagine.
It's a whole
regular black Twitter is wild.
So they got black wrestling court.
Wrestling attached to anything is gonna be wilder than the normal version.
It's nuts. But so like, I feel like Jacqueline coming back. I get you.
Yeah,
if she would have come back to push some talent, to maybe be a trainer in the back and wrestle a little bit. Yeah, but I feel like she's not going to come back for that. Just what she's saying right there is like, hey, bring me back and put me in the main. I want to be in the main event. I want to be a top star.
Gotcha. That is, yeah. She did compare herself to like the top of the
top. John Cena, The Rock.
But I guess it's like those are the names that you've been hearing matriculate. You haven't really been hearing any I haven't been hearing any mid-tiers, and I've been doing a little homework since we've been getting back.
Yeah, they bring some of them back here and there. They pop in here and there. Like, they just brought Jinder Mahal back. They brought, like, we saw CM Punk come back. We saw...
Yeah, true.
TNA, there was a bunch of old people that just came back over there on that show.
Yeah, they're like popping around every week, right?
Yeah, I mean, if she could come back and play a role and fill a role on the roster, I get that. But if she's expecting to come back and be put in the main
eventer and getting the title and
we don't need that. We got enough of that crap. There's no need for it. Just sit on the side or come and do something else. There's tons of other things to do in wrestling. Like you look at NFL.
Makes sense.
You get too old, hey, come coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Build yourself up and do that. Maybe you can become a manager. See, Jacqueline, I don't think she has that charisma. She's very Southern. I know you watch that Cat Williams thing, right? But like when I think of her, I think of Steve Harvey.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like, she's not like super, and no hate on Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey, but the way that Cat explained him, he's not that educated. He's like, he's kind of like, oh, ha ha ha, listen to Steve. I feel like Jacqueline's the same thing. She's not gonna come out. She's not good on the microphone. She's not well spoken. So where are you bringing her in today? What are you bringing her in to do? Unless she's putting over good talent, top talent, building new stars, there's no need for her. But if she wants to come and help build talent, put over some talent, then
in like a manager position or something.
Or even if she wants to get in the ring, but no, hey, you're not going to win every match.
Yeah.
Don't expect to be going for the world title. And if you are going for the world title, expect that you're going to lose and you're going to make the champ look good. Your job is to go out there and make that champ look believable. Like, wow, she just beat Jacqueline.
Yeah, exactly. It's still good that the veteran is even in the ring.
Picture,
Right. If that's what you want, I'm all for it, Jackie. Come back. Do it. But other than that, nah, stay home.
There's been a lot of legends coming back.
Right, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to come back now. It's nuts. So I want to run through this so we can get into all the other stuff we got to talk about. After the Ultimate X, we had the TNA World Tag Team Championship match.
Ooh.
ABC, which is the American Bullet Club. We've talked about how Bullet Club has gone like way too far. So like there's a version of Bullet Club on like every brand. So we got Chris Bay and Ace Austin. They're Bullet Club, the American version. So they're the ABC.
Different strains of Bullet Club.
Right. It's nuts. So they're the tag champs. They defended against the Rascals, grizzled young veterans who were in NXT recently got released, made their debut after their 90-day non-compete. And
nice.
Mike Bailey was supposed to team with Trent Seven, but he had travel issues because of all the weather going on.
Mm-hmm.
I said because he's fat and they were trying to overcharge it. They were like, Trent 7, you're like Trent 9.
This man is wild. This man is wild.
But so anyway, Trent 7.
Outside.
Trent 7 didn't make it, so Laredo Kid ended up in his place there in that match. For the record, they were calling this team, it was Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent 7, and they were calling him Speedball Mountain, which I was just like,
wow.
I don't know who in the back doesn't realize that you just called him a mountain of cocaine.
Correct. Yes.
Speedball Mountain.
Speedball Mountain is crazy.
Like someone there missed what that actually meant.
Well, remember, we're from the generation that knows that. There's a younger generation that's just like, Speedball Mountain out here shooting veins and shit. So they take it a whole different way. You know what I mean? They didn't remix it again.
Right. And just the fact that his name's Speedball Mike Bailey gets me. I'm like, you thought that was a good idea? Like, no one came to him like, dude.
Like, you guys be getting fired for that stuff.
Yo, you need to get that good. Go see Mike Bailey, Speedball. He got you. American Bullet Club won. They've been the champs for a while, and they just kind of run with them. Chris Bay's nice. Chris Bay, another one of the young black wrestlers on the rise, doing his thing. And he's found his niche here in TNA.
Yeah, I gotta tap in with him and watch more matches.
Yeah, he's dope. He did his thing on the independent circuit. He got over there, and now that he's with the Bullet Club, he kind of like I said, he found his spot there, and he's really been doing his thing there. So good tag team match. It's always good when you get multi-man tag matches because they get wild.
Yeah,
action everywhere. It's
like three-way tags and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this was four teams in this one, so that was nuts.
Yeah, that's ADHD heaven right there.
Right,
I would not be able to pay attention to that shit.
He said ADHD. That's why I loved it. From there, we had the X Division Championship match. Chris Sabin in a triple threat against Kushida and El Hijo de Vikingo. It's the son of the Viking. Those Mexican wrestlers, I don't know, they get some weird gimmicks. They have these gimmicks where it's like, my dad was this, I'm son of my dad.
I mean, isn't that like the Libre? Isn't that like the Libre culture?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the ancestral wrestler culture. I mean, look at the mask, bro.
Right.
That's what we got.
The custody of Dominic match. Remember that? The ladder match.
Was great. That was great.
Like, what was that, dude?
The things they did in the Attitude Era. Stuff that you couldn't get away with now.
On God.
But this match was great. Chris Sabin kept the title.
Nice.
I don't like Chris Sabin.
Of course.
I don't know what it is about him.
I'm going to keep a tally book.
Right, of what I'm like. I don't know if it's his look, but there's just like little things turn me off completely. It's like that little thing I'm like, nope, I don't like it.
That's it.
He's from Michigan. And people from Michigan do this weird ass thing where like you point on your hand where you live, and like it's how he gets popped. Like he shows up and he's like he gets up on the ropes and he's like, and people cheer. I'm like, no, I don't care where you live, dude. I get it. Michigan looks like a mitten. You can point on it, and that's where you are on the map.
They got a good college football team.
Hey, man, I know some good people in Michigan. Shout out to my people's all right, man. I don't know what he's talking about, yo. He's slaughtering y'all right now.
I'm just saying, I hope y'all people aren't out there doing this every time they get on stage for something. Whatever. Like,
I mean, he can be pretty charismatic, but that is goofy. That is some goofy shit right
That's
there.
what I like about him. Yeah. And that's his big, because they're from Michigan, the Motor City Machine.
I mean, hold on. Time out.
He said, skirt.
Turn this mic back.
Hold the phone.
How is that any less goofy than...
No,
just hold at me. I'm just asking the question.
I'm not a big John Cena fan
didn't say his
either. You're right, though.
I'm just saying.
It was such a good gimmick.
Well, that's funny. Like you do so much with it, can't see.
At least this connected to something. Like where the hell did he get?
You can't see me.
The gimmick turned him into an Invisible Man meme.
Right. You got tons of memes from that. You don't get memes of this.
Sure.
His prom picture, they were like, "Oh, poor thing went to prom alone."
Now watch. He's gonna make.
I could give y'all mad memes for that.
He's gonna make memes out of that. Like he's gonna be like, "This my house."
The bills. My life. This Smarkside.
Me at urgent care. Where does it hurt? Right here.
Right
here. Chris Sabin is gonna become a meme now because of us. It's gonna be hilarious. But so he won the title. He kept the title. I thought they were gonna have a build from him as the X Division champ to facing Alex Shelley, his tag team partner, who they gave the world championship to. But we'll get into that later. They didn't build to that.
Oh man.
I thought that's where they were going. Good match though. X Division matches are always great. High flyers. That El Hijo del Vikingo. If you haven't seen him wrestle, watch that dude wrestle. That dude's nice.
Wait, is he a Mexican wrestler too?
Yeah,
right.
He's a Mexican wrestler, and he's like
this sounds very familiar.
He's an up and coming guy. Like I said, his dad was El Vikingo, so he's son of El Vikingo.
Nice,
but dude can go. He's been like their guy, the big Mexican guy, and every year there's a guy that people catch on to him, and then he gets booked everywhere. That's El Hijo del Vikingo. Then we got Josh Alexander versus Alex Hammerstone. This match, amazing. You don't know Alex Hammerstone? He was in MLW. He's a name that you're going to see pop up somewhere. He's either going to end up in AEW or WWE sometime in the next couple years. He kind of his contract with MLW just ran out. So he's popping up here and there now, showing up in places, getting seen. Big jack, blonde dude. Guy can go. Really good wrestler. Put on a great match with the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander, he's a guy, if you like old school wrestling, Josh Alexander's your guy. Because that's his thing. He wrestles. He comes out there. He wears like a college headgear. I'm like that type of wrestler.
I was going to say, what is his style like?
He's like, take those mat wrestlers like your Bret Harts, your Chris Benoit's.
Yeah.
Or like that's Josh Alexander. He's that technical wrestler that.
Nice.
He uses the ankle lock as his finisher.
Yeah.
His submission hold. So, another great match. Josh Alexander won. But sometimes when you have a match like this on a pay-per-view, I feel like I get the build for it because it's two big names. But you know who's going to win.
Yeah.
You know the guy that's signed to the company is going to win. It's like Josh Alexander's been the face of this company for years. He's like their guy because he's like the pure wrestler.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose to a guy that's coming in that doesn't have a contract with your company.
Yeah, it makes no sense to compromise your guy.
It can be very obviously like set up sometimes. Like you can already tell type shit.
But it was a good match. It's definitely a match worth watching. It's not like, oh, this is crap because you knew who was going to win. Because even though you knew who was going to win, you knew it was going to be a good match. Just two guys that can put on a good wrestling match. If you just want to watch a good match,
hell yeah,
definitely something to watch. Then we had the double main event. We had the Knockouts Championship on the line. Trinity defended against Jordan Grace. Another match that was kind of, you knew who was going to win. Rumor and innuendo on the street is Trinity is about to go back to the WWE.
Interesting.
Do you know who Trinity is?
Yes, interesting.
Formerly known as Naomi, if you don't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's married to one of the Usos.
Yes, we just talked about that. Yeah.
Right, so she had that walkout. Her and Sasha Banks walked out together over some stuff that they didn't like. They didn't like where their characters were going. So they were the tag team champions together. And they were going to have them like wrestle each other and to like go for the women's championship. And they're like, well, we're girls.
Yeah.
And we're friends. And we're champions together. Why would we be fighting each other?
It
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And they left. So now she's like...
It's not like it's like a sibling thing like the Hardys, you know what I mean?
Right. But they were like, you know what? You don't do this with other females. You do it with the two black girls.
I mean, did it make sense? Yeah, it didn't make sense. We talked about it
really
before.
make sense.
Really
Yeah,
didn't
it
make
makes
sense.
sense.
It was like, what was your angle there? It was literally what you just said. Like,
right.
Just throw the two black girls at each other. Like, what the hell?
But they're on the same
Y'all
team.
know you ain't right for that.
I know! Black on black crime!
Correct. Exactly, right?
That's how they felt.
Right. Like, you mean Malcolm and Martin? All right, here we go. Like, what the hell? Right before Black History Month, why y'all doing this shit?
But yo, that's what they
Y'all
did.
better stop playing. All right?
Man.
Y'all better stop playing.
But that's why they left. So they both left. Trinity ended up going to... Naomi became Trinity, signed with Impact, had a nice little run as the women's champion. She dropped it at this show. And again, it was one of those things where you kind of knew Bayley and Sasha Banks were in the crowd. They showed them like sitting up in the box, like watching. They're there for the homegirl because they're really good friends in real life. So they were out there, and then Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is another one. She's jacked. I don't know if you know who she is. Look up Jordan Grace. This woman is jacked. They call her nickname. She's big Big Mama Pump. You know,
Big Mama.
Scott Steiner was Big Papa Pump.
Big Papa.
She's Big Mama Pump.
Does she got the little lump on the lump though?
Oh, she's like, she's jacked.
She gotta register those guns.
No, he really had the freaking Popeye muscle. It's like
she does bodybuilding competitions, so she'll get small, but then like you know how bodybuilders are, they get small when they're not competing, and then they get jacked up. She gets jacked.
Bodybuilders scare me, man. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Now you're gonna see her and be like, oh, damn.
What's her name? What is it again?
Jordan Grace. Jordynne. Grace.
Like, there's no reason your arm should be the size of my waist.
Right.
Like,
she's like not a tall girl. She's a short girl. She's just jacked. And then
you gotta watch out, Nick, because then she might say something like, "There's no reason your waist should be the size of my arm." Smoke.
Hey man, my social media links are in there. You can reach out to me. we can hit the gym together, girl. I'm cool with that.
She's married to another black wrestler.
Hey, can we start talking about her? Because I feel like she might be able to take a mofo in the dark alley. God,
oh yeah, she'll beat us up.
I want no smoke. No smoke.
Jordan Grace show up here. We start talking. Like I like Jordan Grace. I know who to not say that I don't like. Jordan Grace will beat me up.
No, she got Debo.
And our man's black, so you know how that goes too. I'm like, nah, I'm messing with Jordan Grace.
You said I gotta make sure it's safe to say first.
She's got an interesting coffee.
So what you're saying is them hands got rhythm. Oh no,
right. I'm saying. But she's got an interesting coffee table book. If you ever want to read an interesting wrestling book, she's got a book called I forget the exact title of it, but it's something like DMs of a Female Wrestler. And she like legit, it's about people sliding in her DMs, and she just like literally takes DMs of people.
Oh, we gotta add that to the show. We can add a little segment. You know
honestly,
DMs of a female wrestler. I'm telling you,
fire.
We gotta do that.
You know, people be saying shit to her.
Yeah,
on both ends of the spectrum too.
Actually, I gotta ask her because I was wondering, like, I know, AG was here and everything, and I'm like, hey man, I see, she's always in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you could be a wrestler. Yo, I can see you doing your thing out there. You know what I mean? She 2 piece in earth though. She like, nah, I'm not. I look Debo, but I want to give you a hug.
She used to be an announcer too.
Y'all know we talking about our teammate Natalia. Super. Shout out to Natalia. Go check
out Natalia
on YouTube and everything, man. She's doing great work, man. But again, she brought out AG. We'll be getting back to that. But yeah, man, like just thinking about that when you talking about the ladies, I was like, yo, she be getting Debo in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She put out a new video. I was like, oh, okay. Your back is looking big, son.
Right.
She fit.
If Jordan Grace comes, I might have her be here to protect me. That's my bodyguard.
Good idea.
So anyway, so we get through that match. Jordan Grace, new women's champion. Congratulations. She's gonna carry that women's division into the future there.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to her against what's her name? Shaw for the women's title. Giselle Shaw, the one that won the Ultimate X. So eventually those two are gonna fight. So, and it's funny, if you got a girl that's a dude, she's gonna fight someone. Jordan Grace is the one because she ain't gonna care.
She said Jordan Grace is in the place.
She's like, I don't care if you're a dude or a girl, I'll beat you both up.
Pull up. That's what I mean. Wrestling's different, man. When you get the stereo Cheerios, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying.
So then from there we go to the main event. Alex Shelley defends his title against Moose. And Moose comes out the new champion. I think that surprised a lot of people because they were kind of running with Alex Shelley. Like I said, I think people thought we were going to get to Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin, X Division champion versus world champion, tag team partners against each other. But
that would have been cool.
It would have. But I'm glad they switched. I like Moose. See, again, a lot of people I hate. I like Moose. That's my dude. He's been my Facebook friend for years. Moose.
What title was it again?
Ojanaka. I can never say his name right.
Oh, we found one you can't get out?
Yeah.
Oh, look, now you're going to go
black
look
dude. What's Moose's last name? Moose?
He's like, I ain't
Ojanaka.
He's like, I can't like him and not know the name.
Moose, his name's Quinn Ojanaka. Ojinnaka. Ojanaka.
Japanese, right?
No, he's black dude.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he plays.
Sounds like an African last name, probably.
I would have ruined that, ladies and gentlemen.
He played.
I would have got a hate charge for messing up people's names.
Hey.
I don't know why I got this British ass Peter Walker, but man.
Yo, that status you posted the other day.
He said, yo, but Moose is looking jacked lately. He went from this like kind of flabby guy that came out. He played football. He was an NFL player, right? When he first came into wrestling, he was a heel, and his brag was, "I used to block for Tom Brady."
I mean,
but he used to
that's a brag, bro. That's a good brag. That's the GOAT.
He used to be fat, brag, but I'm gonna show you Moose now.
Oh, goddamn!
Right, that's Moose now.
That was crazy.
Dude, he's jacked.
Yeah,
chest got a chest, bro.
His chest got a chest. Chest had a chest.
He got a 12-pack.
And he's the new face of TNA. So props to Moose. Big shout out. Love to see you get your run, get that title back. He's been that guy that's been kind of there all the time. They've thrown the title on him. Lost the title. People have wondered, is he going to go somewhere else? And he keeps re-signing with TNA. He's loyal to that company. That's who brought him in. That's who's built him. And it's great to see them reward him by putting the title on him and saying, hey, now we're under a new banner. We're ready to go. You're the guy, Moose.
Yeah.
And he's got like a whole little crew with him now. And I guess they brought... I kind of caught the end of it when he had interference to help him win. And they put him with D'Angelo Williams.
Ooh.
You know D'Angelo Williams. Like, the football player.
Correct, yep.
Now we're getting into some names that I'm waiting for.
I said, wait a minute.
He's in TNA and he's Moose's crew. Which makes sense. You know, he's a football player that played line, brought his football player buddy to come get his back.
Yep. Got to run some plays out here.
Right. So I'm interested to see where they go with this, to see where TNA comes. A lot of good stuff came out of this show.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about. Some new people showed up. Dana Brooke, who used to be in WWE, she showed up there. There were a few other names that kind of just... Because, again, they're trying to rebuild their whole brand. And Dolph Ziggler showed up. We just talked about him showing up in Japan.
Like, wait, he just popped back up over here.
He showed up over here, and he's gonna be going at it with Moose, apparently. That's what it looks like. He came out at the end of his match and kind of approached him about everything. So I'm like, all right, so we're going to get to Moose versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler doing everything. Like, I don't want to say too much, but doing everything. Like, he's all over the place.
For sure.
So it sounds like it started off a little, like, not stale, but, like, just dragged on, boring a little bit. And
it's kind of like how all pay-per-views go. You know what I mean? The beginning of it, you just got to kind of build momentum. I missed this, too. So DJ Who Kid was there. DJ Who Kid was there.
Who Kid was in the building.
And he brought out AJ Francis, who recently was in WWE as Top Dollar.
Yeah, Who Kid's a big wrestling fan.
Apparently.
No, he is. I've watched like his pod and stuff. He's a big wrestling fan. It's crazy.
Well, he was there and he came out with Top Dollar and they got into a fight with a dude and did all that. So, like I said, all this people showing up. It's TNA back, so trying to
wait. Who Kid was wrestling?
No, Who Kid?
Oh, I thought you said he came out the DJ booth and hit somebody with the vinyl, son.
He came out and introduced AJ. He did hit somebody with the vinyl.
I knew it. It's wrestling. I knew it.
He did. And then AJ Francis took him out after Who Kid hit him. And I was like, damn, DJ Who Kid coming out here. He's like,
this is amazing.
Kid.
Yo.
Right. That's fun. It's the funny part about TNA when you look at where they're going with it.
Yeah.
They're kind of looking at wrestling and saying, yo, let's go for that black dynamic.
Yeah. We talked about that. When we talked about that
and
too.
And there's not a lot of people going there.
Correct.
They were like, all right, let's do it. We're going to go for that. So good for them.
It's not cheesy.
Right. But good pay-per-view. Definitely check it out. It's on Fight TV, Triller, or you can probably find it somewhere.
Nice.
Not that I said that. But let's get into the other things. We've got a couple other things to talk about before we get out of here today. What was the next thing I...
Oh, wait, no. Hulkamania is next week, right?
Hulkamania is next week. Again, next week is the birth of Hulkamania. We're going to celebrate that. It's going to be a whole episode talking about that. And it's also a Rumble preview. I want to talk briefly about the Royal Rumble, because we're going to be covering the Rumble next week. Yep. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like out of pay-per-views that people like get hyped for and people want to watch, the Royal Rumble is one of them.
Definitely.
Because it's like, you don't have to know all the storylines. There's a couple big matches, and then there's a 30-man Rumble. And now they got two. There's a man and a woman's 30-man Rumble.
Oh,
so like people come to see, all right, who's going to come back? Because they don't got 30 women. They don't got 30 women.
Correct.
So who are we gonna bring? We gotta bring back somebody who's gonna come back that I haven't seen since 1997.
Trish Stratus, man. Trish Stratus.
Right, you know Trish is gonna make a show up there.
R.I.P. China, because I know she would have been there.
Right, you know she would have been there.
China
she would have been there.
Right.
China was a dog.
She was.
You know what I mean?
She was one of my favorite women wrestlers.
China was a dog.
But you know you're gonna see some, like, there's gonna be a couple people from that attitude era, from our era of watching wrestling, that's gonna show up to be in the Rumble.
Correct.
I can think
I'm
back
excited.
to like Doink the Clown showing up, Iron Sheik.
Oh man, you just I can't believe I forgot about Doink. Favorites, bro. Doink was one of my favorites, bro. That gimmick was everything.
It was dope.
Oh, I'm gonna pull him up. I gotta pull him.
People hate comedy wrestling, and I'm not the biggest comedy wrestling fan, but if in its spot, it's good. Doink
it has its place,
but Doink was in the right window for it. After him, it got really overplayed. Like you said, like once you oversaturate, if you don't,
I agree.
You know, you can do the same gimmick, but you have to space them out. Yada yada yada. Like we talked about the whole NWO thing, and you know what I'm saying. Like you have to space it out.
True.
Doink wouldn't have been good if Doink was fighting Bret Hart for the world championship.
Yeah, correct.
That is true.
Messing around with Crush in the mid card was great. It was funny. It gave you some comedy and lighten up the show in the middle of it, and you didn't have. He wasn't like the main feature of the show.
Yeah, true.
So I think that's where people go wrong nowadays. They want to make these comedy gimmicks the main star of the show.
Yeah. You can't.
But the Rumble's going to be good.
They have to be a side quest. You're right. Like, they got to be like a side mission.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And then maybe like every few years they haphazardly win a belt and then they go back to the side show. Like, they have to be ethereal. You know what I mean? Like there.
When they win if they win a title, it's in a match against someone that they definitely shouldn't win.
Correct,
and they get like a cheap roll up or something.
Really
and the guy's like, oh my
God. Correct. Like some real what? Piss everybody off with the cheesiest way to win.
And then the next Monday night I probably lose the title.
Correct.
Right away.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what you do with a comedy gimmick. So I don't hate them. They just have to be done right. And a lot of times they don't do them right.
Yeah, correct.
Write that down. He doesn't hate him. Keep that in mind.
Rumor and innuendo is that MJF is going to show up and win the Rumble. I don't know about that. We'll cover that more next week.
Yeah.
We'll get in deep into the Rumble because next week's just going to be Hulk Hogan in the Rumble.
Yeah.
That's all we're talking
Correct
about
me if I'm wrong,
else.
but Rock's going to be there? Or?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, because since he popped up, well, that's what we've been debating. At what point is he going to pop back up? And
exactly.
What is the angle? What is the long game angle?
Because when is he going to start? Like, he's on Raw, right? Is that what he's doing? Or?
I think so. I don't know.
I think he was on Raw.
He was on Raw, but if they're gonna feud him with Roman, he's got to go to SmackDown.
Yeah,
Roman.
That's true. Yeah.
So
that would be a good feud.
They're smart when they do that stuff because you play it for the network, right? Because the network wants to get, both channels want The Rock on their channel, so you get mixed up a little bit.
Who doesn't want that? Yeah.
So he could go on both. I feel like
there's too much upside.
Right. Fact.
It's all upside.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive deep into the Rumble. I'm just saying the Rumble is one of my favorite events because it's one of those things that you can get people together that don't watch wrestling all the time.
And still entertaining.
Enjoy the show because they're not like, oh, wait, what's going on? What's this about? Because half of the Rumble, 90% of the Rumble, it doesn't matter. There's no story in it. Once in a while, you get two guys that meet up, and you can tell when the story's in the ring.
Yeah.
Everyone else like kind of falls down.
Correct.
Then they
that's a little feud.
And you're like, oh, all right, that's the story right now. But other than that,
it's gonna be interesting to see.
Right. Other than that, it's just pure entertainment. It's great for people to watch, and I feel like this is the show that brings people to watch wrestling if you haven't for a while, and it gears you up because that's the beginning of the road to WrestleMania.
Yes.
So from there, it's just on the way to WrestleMania. So you get back into it then. You kind of stay into it, at least until Mania. Yeah. Because you want to see what's building from it. Rumble was cool. What's going to happen for Mania? Because Mania, huge spectacle.
Yep.
So now it's 2 days long.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you mention that, it's like they kind of bring back old acts throughout these next few months.
Right. This is that time period where all the guys come back and they want to bring back the nostalgia. And part of it is because WrestleMania. They want to get everybody to go to WrestleMania, and they know some people want to come for that nostalgia.
Not everyone watches wrestling and knows all the wrestlers, but the big guys, like
right. You know the guys
superstars
that you've been watching that you watched 10 years ago, and you're like, oh, cool, he's back. I want to see him. Yeah, so that's kind of dope. Looking forward to that. Now we got 2 other things we want to talk about before we get out of here. We're gonna try to make this show not go 2 hours anymore. We're gonna keep this like into a condensed time.
People's attention span is getting lower and lower.
I don't know. We get into it. We can keep you.
Of course.
Hey! I tell people all the time, man. That's just more clips for me to chop up, so it all gets used. It all gets repurposed.
I feel like this is just gonna end up becoming a segment. It's always something. So let's talk about our resident cokehead Tony Khan. The shit that he pulled this week. So
resident cokehead is crazy.
Tony Khan is still all over the place. All this stuff going to. I think we talked about it a little bit last week with Jinder Mahal and how he came out,
his tweets and everything.
And he hasn't stopped.
No,
he's been going on and on. Going. He's like, oh, you gave Jinder Mahal a title shot, and then meanwhile we got Hook over here, 28-1, and no one's paying attention to it. Tony, I want you to pay attention. Yeah, Hook is 28-1. Go on Cage Match and look at his matches. The dude hasn't beat anybody. That's why no one's excited for him going for the world title. Who did he beat that's a world title contender? Mm-hmm. You're 28-1, but you beat a bunch of scrubs. That don't mean nothing. It's like no one's like, this guy deserves a title shot. He hasn't beat any of your top stars. He might have beaten one. He beat Wheeler Yuta. And a lot of us have no use for Wheeler Yuta. So it doesn't really matter.
He's like if the Cowboys were a wrestler.
Right. Like
you only beat bums.
When you play somebody, no one cares. And I get it. It's not, he doesn't lose, but you don't put him against top contenders.
Yeah.
So now you're going to put him in his first match, big match against Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe's going to wreck him. And if he does it, it's going to be stupid because Hook is like 5'0", 110 pounds soaking wet.
Land again.
Like seriously. And Joe is a big monster. So I hope that you're smart enough to have Joe beat the shit out of Hook. which is stupid because you've been building this guy up. Send Hook. Send Hook. Hook's the big tough guy.
Samoa Joe.
Have you seen Hook? Have you checked him out?
I checked it out yesterday actually when we was talking about it to get caught up.
And he comes out to Action Bronson too. So he's like
that. Yes, which is that's fire. That's
right, but that's kind of like part of his hype is all of that.
Yeah,
half of his hype is he comes out to that fire song.
That's the first thing I was like, is that Action? Oh, that's fire.
Right. But you see him like he's a little dude.
Of course.
Yeah,
Like,
and Action's a big dude, so it's it's very ironic.
But if he was like Action should have came out with his song, and this would be more believable, guys.
Like if Hook walked in this room right now, look at all like how he looks, like with his like tough ass look on his face, and got loud.
That's what I'm saying.
My money's on Lionel. Lionel, knock him out.
My God, listen, I am a citizen. Everything you've ever heard is a myth.
He's lying, yo. Y'all see?
Ever happened?
Y'all see them weights in the corner, man. He can get to it.
It's rumored innuendo. I'm just saying. Listen, Hook.
My lawyer told me to say allegedly.
He said allegedly. Citizen. Citizen.
I'm just saying. Listen, I don't.
My hat says girl dad. Okay, that's what I am, guys. Girl dad.
I'm a girl dad. Yo, but I don't hate Hook. I don't.
Wow.
Well, I like Taz. His dad, that's Taz's kid. Taz was nasty.
Talking about a legend right there.
I can see him in him, but then it's just not that bulky Taz. You know what I mean? It's like Taz without the bulk.
Right, like Taz, like it's like man Taz.
Taz without the spin.
It's like Taz. Were you like stealing meals from your kid?
I don't know what was going on.
It's like Smash.
He was never the head of the table. That boy was at the back of the line.
Right.
Oh
right.
my God.
They're like, send Hook for the leftovers. Because we ain't feeding them real.
I've been dying this whole time, man.
Yeah.
But listen, Hook's gonna have his match Wednesday. Please, Tony, lay off the coke a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And like come to reality
Just
for a minute with me.
Just
Come to reality with me and make this match look believable. Don't send Hook out there and have him tossing around Samoa Joe. Especially because that's not Samoa Joe's the dude that does that. I'm not gonna play your stupid shit.
Correct. Yeah.
Like I think I showed you the clip of him.
Correct.
Dude's like dives off the top rope and Samoa Joe just like steps out the way and lets him fall on his face.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Like that's the dude.
That's why I'm definitely interested to because now that we're talking about that, like in that aspect, it's like how are they gonna pull that off? Like that's very interesting because this is one of those moments where it's like, well, does Samoa Joe now let Tony Khan compromise his character?
Yeah.
Right. We talked about this.
And it's interesting because I get why. So again, rumor and innuendo.
Yeah.
Is the reason why this match happened.
Yeah.
Is Samoa Joe has tons of respect for Taz.
Okay.
Him and his dad are boys. And
makes
he's
sense.
I'm gonna give your son a little bit of shine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But how much shine are you gonna give him? Like, don't compromise your character.
That's what I mean.
Joe's a monster.
Don't change the DNA of the character by trying to pull off this wacky match. You know what I'm saying?
I think it says so much more if Joe goes in there and just whips him.
That's yes.
Like everyone's just gonna be like, "Oh shit, what?"
But then well, no, because then what happens with Hook? You did all of this build up.
But you can still. He lost to Taz. It's not like he was losing. Okay. I mean, he lost to Joe. It's not like he was losing to a bum.
Yeah.
He's losing to a world champion.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Who's a big dude and has done it.
Run him on some side missions or some side quests afterwards. Build him back up. Yeah.
Like think about this: Samoa Joe, former Ring of Honor world champion, former NXT world champion. When they brought back Ring of Honor recently, he was the TV champion until he vacated the title because he wanted the AEW championship. He's like, I've been the TV champion for months. No one can beat me. I don't want this belt. I want the world title. I'm vacating it. So if anyone can go in and squash Hook and it doesn't destroy his character, it's Joe. So if they do it right.
Yeah.
If they do it right, you shock everybody. Everyone's going to tune in because that's the thing. It's a good match because people are going to tune in just like you to be like, how are they going to do this?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can make this make sense to me.
Like if you can make it make sense,
I'm in.
I can respect it. It's all about, it's not about Hook winning. It's about how he wins.
Yeah.
It's just about how you win. If you can sell it, if you can set the match at the right way, you can sell it.
But you know he's not going to win because Hook right now is carrying his dad's title.
Tony Khan is not going to listen to your advice. He's going to hit the biggest bag tonight and start writing that script.
I'm telling you right now.
Especially if he listens to this. He's going to be like, despite, he's going to be like, what? Give me more.
I'm telling you right now, 28-2. 28-2, baby.
28-2, Hook. You better be. I'm going to be mad. I'll be talking. You hear me talking
I know,
about this.
Bro, the next episode will go crazy.
We're not talking about Hulk. We're talking about Hook.
Correct.
Send Hook. That's it.
Are we ready to get into like the meat and potatoes?
Oh yeah, let's get into this. Let's get the tea. Need my cup. Oh, I know you did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you follow everything going on Twitter and everything, but Matt Hardy and Reby Hardy are breaking up. Their marriage is done. They've got their kids and everything, and this is getting dirty. It's like they just wanted to make it wrestling. There was a TikTok. Reby Hardy dropped a TikTok, right? Where she says, it's a video of her that says, when Matt does you wrong for the last time or something like that.
Ooh.
And she's wearing a Matt Hardy t-shirt. She takes off her Matt Hardy t-shirt and she's wearing an Edge t-shirt. And it's the same Edge t-shirt from that live sex thing they did on. Remember when Edge first got with Lita and she left Matt Hardy for him?
In the ring, right?
Yeah, they did a live sex show in the ring.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That show is what Reby Hardy wore. That was like when Matt does you wrong for the last time, takes it off, and she's rocking this freaking Edge shirt.
She doubled down, she doubled down.
And people are mad about it.
I'm gonna make sure I got that clip in the footage. This is crazy.
People are like, yo, that's mess. It's funny because, again, different generations, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that now.
We've been laughing about it.
For sure.
I see dudes that are like, that's wrong. That's the father of her kids. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
This happens every day, bro.
Right.
This is everyday stuff, bro.
And you know what's funny?
It is crazy because they've been together for 10 years.
10 years.
They got what?
October 5th, 2013. They celebrated their 10-year anniversary last year.
Wow.
It's crazy.
3 kids? Is that what they have?
I don't see how many kids, but it's pretty interesting because it looks like Matt gave a reply. Let me read what he wrote on his Twitter. He retweeted a post and he said, "If karma's a real thing, I'm good with it." I wonder what that's talking about there. Like,
who knows?
Is this like
there's some drama?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, was Matt outside? Because that's what it sounds like to me. And it sounds like she got tired of his games and she's outside now.
Yeah, I don't know.
True.
The shirt was funny to me because the shirt, if you look at the shirt, it's the shirt, the Edge shirt that says everybody has some edge in them.
Jesus.
Like she went low.
Wait a minute, and then the karma?
Double down is crazy.
I don't know, bro.
The double down is insane.
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, because that would be detrimental. Let's be real. That's detrimental to her health. We're not in the 90s where Edge is just like this young wrestler running around sleeping with Lita.
Yeah, he's old now.
Yeah, but he's married to what's her name? Beth Phoenix.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Edge is married to Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix will whip Reby Hardy. Like, hey, you don't want to mess with that. So she's doing some shit like that. I feel bad for her.
So she had put out it looks like she had took a video of herself, excuse me, alone in a chair on January 1st, 2024, accompanied by a caption, "Not my year."
Yikes.
She deleted the post, but it added some more intrigue to this conversation. So it's pretty interesting to it's sad to see any kind of relationships go through this public stuff. But like we said, we came up generationally different. So yeah, we probably would have took it differently, but it's a whole different thing when you bring the peanut gallery into your relationship, and you have celebrity status behind you. It's already crazy when freaking, Day Day and Thomas up the street and Sarah and Jim, they all are throwing that shit online all day,
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
They all do that all day, but when you have a celebrity, lifestyle behind you, and then you have a 10-year legacy, man, we just need a little bit more tact out here.
Yeah, but she doesn't have it ever. If you look through her history, that's what Reby Hardy does.
Yeah,
it's legit what she does. She goes out there and always has something to say about everything. If she don't like it, she's gonna say it.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's funny because he retweeted a post of himself making a post. So it looks like he just went back to one of his old posts and he put "always" as the caption above that. If karma's a real thing, I'm good with it. This is very interesting. I want to see how this is all going to develop over the next few weeks. It's pretty interesting. For me, I know that everybody goes through this and all that good stuff, but I always hope that people can work it out in the end, especially when you got so many kids and involved. Because that's what I always think about. Forget the two adults. I do think about the kids watching it, because kids take bullets they don't really deserve. You know what I'm saying? I watched people shoot up Blue Ivy for 2 years and was calling her all kind of ugly and everything. This is a child, you savages. So once you let the internet in, man, it's a wrap.
Right. And it's gotten wild. So I'm gonna go off some of these tweets here. So Vita Scott tweeted this and Reby retweeted it. In any facet of life, it's pretty wild how 99% of the time you're told someone is difficult. The actual story is something more like they stand up for themselves when someone is trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah, it looks like
and she retweeted it. So I'm guessing Matt was probably doing some things that she wasn't feeling, and she just was like, no.
Oh, no, definitely. Because this tweet right here, she had put up, "Does me dirty for the last time."
Damn.
And it started way back in December. December 17th, she tweeted, "Yeah, no. Updates coming." So,
this is the everyday stuff I see on Facebook with my friends.
January 8th, she tweeted in all caps, "Unfollow me. Fuck all the way off."
Wow.
You know, that's got 377 likes.
This girl has had enough.
But that's the thing. She is she has no problem doing this. They were having issues with in Impact before, and she tweeted about shit with Impact. Same thing in TNA. They were having issues with booking in TNA, and she was tweeting about Tony Khan, and there were issues there. So Reby Hardy has been known to not give a shit, not have a filter, and say how she feels on.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh, here we go. Would you find something?
Back in 2005, Matt Hardy had a real-life rivalry with Edge that made its way into a storyline. Yeah. The reason behind the beef was that Hardy's then-girlfriend Lita ended up cheating on him with Edge. This might be her way of rubbing salt on Hardy's old wound.
Right. Yeah,
that's why he's heated.
100% goes to. So I don't know if you know that. So you remember
that explains the karma tweet too.
When they had the whole thing with Edge and Lita. Remember the live sex show in the ring?
Yes.
That was wild. That was wild.
That goes to Vince. Yo, Vince is dirty sometimes. So real life, Edge is dating Lita. Matt Hardy's dating Lita.
Yeah.
Lita cheats on Matt Hardy with Edge. They get into a real life altercation in the back, and Vince was like, "I'm just gonna make good TV. Let's make this a story."
He said, "Content."
You know what's crazy too is a part of me wants to say do you think that this could be I feel I don't know if celebrities really be beefing or going through divorces and stuff nowadays. This is a part of the marketing scheme nowadays where it's hey, let's beef. And now with the Edge shirt, this is going to be going, and now we're back in the cycle.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is coming. Hulkamania is coming. Our names are relevant. What do you think?
It could be that. And I was saying, if we see this play out into AEW, then it makes me question it all. Because they're both signed to AEW right now. Edge came back and they gave him the TNT Championship. So Edge is holding a title right now. So how great would I don't think it would be great. Given like it's 2024 and I don't need to see Edge versus Matt Hardy for a title anymore.
Not now.
But
nope.
If this was a story and they bring it into that, that would be interesting.
I also wonder, like, because, like, is it always match-based? You know, you would be able to tell me, because, like, sometimes just a good storyline is just good to have on the side while you got all these matches going on. You know what I mean? So, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be match-based. It could just be the drama of that story that doesn't really matriculate into, like, I mean, because, like, like you said, I can't see Edge and Matt going at it again, like, after all of this time. So,
I mean, I can see it because it's Tony Khan, and you give him a little bit of coke, and he's like,
that's right. I'm talking about the Coca Nostra, my bad.
It would be an interesting match, I feel like.
Yeah, there's some nostalgic value there. And
that's the part of it that
that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like, that's why I'm telling you, they might be telling us a storyline.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you're tying it back to that time, but they're in a different establishment, you still pull the emotional strings from that era that they was in, from that crowd that was watching, and you pull them over to yours for this resurgence.
So even if it was
interesting.
True.
I think it's a real breakup. How dirty is it? And how much they could have easily been like, listen, we're done, but let's capitalize on this. Let's figure out what we can do. Listen, you're at the end of your career. Let's make one final run out of this. I'll
honestly,
throw Eddie's name around, and we can get something out of this and make a little bit of money.
One of my favorite rivalries were the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian.
Right. Because
those matches are legendary.
But it was based off of that. Yeah, and part of the reason that their matches were so good is because that emotion was real. You know what I mean? Like, Matt Hardy really hated Edge because he was banging his girl. It wasn't like, you didn't have to go out there and be like, all right, I need you to go out there and just pretend you hate this dude. Matt's like,
nah, I can actually like.
I gotta see this guy again.
I got that cover.
He said, "You don't gotta tell me twice." All right, I'm already on that.
Right, think about it. You and your girl break up, and she starts dating some other dude, and you guys get into a brawl, and your boss is like, "You guys are gonna ride together from now on. We're gonna let this play out and see what happens." Like, really? Like, they got in trouble. Like, at first they got into that fight, right? And then suspended them both. And then brought him back and was like, listen.
So that was in 2014. They got into the fight, a violent fight at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
TMZ reported.
Vince, you know you're not right for that.
So Matt Hardy and Reby Sky.
No, that's a different one. That's Matt and Reby. See, because they've had it back and forth. I'm talking about with
like Lita, like so 2005.
When we were watching back in the day when all that happened, him and Lita really cheated on Matt Hardy.
No, yes. That's what I read earlier. Yeah,
and that like
that's what I'm saying. Reby wearing that shirt is just like, wow, you just like dug deep.
Wait, so they got into another fight in 2014?
They've been, him and Reby have been like on and off and getting into it here and there. Like,
man,
he says she's difficult. She's just fired.
Just listen, it's from 2014. Matt Hardy's wife not dumping husband after violent hotel incident. Matt Hardy's wife, Reby Sky, is standing by her husband after a violent incident between a couple at a Virginia hotel and doesn't want to end the marriage. Sources familiar to the situation tells TMZ. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's only a year after they got married too?
So that's 2014. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's like a whole like game that could be getting gamed here. Like, if it's already a part of the DNA, and even like if AEW is not like, you know, like, yes, two things can be true. The situation can be real, but that doesn't mean that AEW can't capitalize on it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, interesting.
But like you said, that was a year after they got married.
Correct.
So they've been married for 10 years. They've been fighting from the beginning. Yeah. So at some point, something's got to give. And maybe 10 years into it, she was just like, all right, guess what?
Makes sense.
This time I am leaving you. Remember in 2023 when you beat me up, 2013, you beat me up in a hotel? And I stuck by you? Nah, no more. I'm done.
That's it.
I'm done.
Enough is enough.
Right. Sometimes that happens. You get to that point. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Woo! In 2014, she posted, sometimes what doesn't kill you doesn't make you stronger. Sometimes it just makes you wish you had. Woo! This is interesting.
See what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, yo.
All the way back then.
She's standing on business.
All right, so can I ask you a question, though? Because, like, I understand that, like, she's in a place where she's at, you know, she's talking about, like, how she's been treated and da-da-da-da. But this was a year after your marriage. You knew, at this point, what road you was partaking on. So do you really get to, like, gaslight society because of a decision that you made to stay with somebody for 10
years? 10 years is crazy.
You get the right to gaslight
and I think
me,
that's
bro.
why.
Like, once I see that, I'm like, I'm sorry, I might be a jerk, but once I see that, I'm like, fuck off, guys. See you later.
And that's why a lot of the IWC is like, oh man, she needs to shut up. She needs to go away. This is ridiculous. Part of it is that side of oh, I'm wicked soft and I'm upset that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the other side of it is, yo, this chick has been doing this for a decade.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? What? Like, and like again, like I get this whole like thing of like some women are like victims and how I understand those anecdotal situations.
Of course, yeah.
That is not this.
Right.
This is a person who has benefited from all the privilege and all the things, and this is just rich, crazy ass people. You understand what I'm saying? Like we talked about these before. Like people be having money and they get bored and fighting in the hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just is what it is. You know?
And that's her thing.
For 10 years, so I don't know if you can cry victim after 10 years.
And
bro.
she does this every time anybody
and
does
4
something.
Kids. That's just crazy.
Anytime
4
somebody does
kids
something,
is crazy.
She's all over the internet, all over Twitter. If you go from 2024 and just start 2014 and start scrolling up, next time we're here, you'll be like, yo, I got like 17 more tweets that she said about what situation was this? Wait, who was she fighting with for this one? Because that's how she is, and she's been told several times, yo, you gotta chill, like I said.
And just to clarify, real quick, I'm not saying that woman deserves anything that she might be going through. I'm saying at what point do you take accountability for yourself as an adult, as a mature person, as a mother, to say, I'm not even gonna have my kids around this. Because once the kids are involved, there should be some kind of maternal clock, paternal clock in both of you that says, this is not conducive for our children.
100%. 100%.
So I'm not by no means advocating for no woman or making a woman feel like she's a victim and by staying in a situation. But at the end of the day, you also have personal accountability for yourself. And this is what I would tell my own daughter. Please, for the love of God, have enough self-respect for yourself to know when it's time to walk away.
Believe his
ass. Before I have to put him in the casket because you have a father.
Right. And so, again, it could be either way of this. It could be, man, she was just stupid and she stuck around. Or maybe she was like, no, I said I'm going to stay in this. We're going to make this work. It's still young in our marriage.
Yeah.
We've got time to make it work. They had a family. They've stuck by each other, fought each other, fought other people.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's went out there and started fighting for him. Like,
yo,
you're doing my husband dirty, this and that, to the point that her Twitter, if you don't follow her on Twitter, you can't see her tweets.
Yeah.
They're blocked.
Wow.
Like, they're not just like out there on a
private Twitter.
Yeah, she's got a private. You gotta like follow her and she's gotta accept it, or you can't see it because.
And she's definitely
But
not
that goes
accepting
back
no
to
one's
the
fault
stuff
request.
that she was saying. Back to everything with Tony Khan, because like there was all kind of drama because she was tweeting about Tony Khan and the way that he was booking Matt Hardy at one point. So it got to that. So, but it's nuts. We'll see where it goes. We'll definitely follow up. Maybe we'll do some little clips on stuff throughout the weekend, update you on things going on.
We're gonna have some good clips from this one. This was a great combo right here.
Oh, I know you're gonna be like looking it up too during the week. We're gonna have more. We're gonna come next week and be like, yo, real quick before we get into this, let's talk about Reby Hardy.
Matt Hardy, you're a dick, and I always liked your brother better anyway.
Really? See, I'm the other way around. Matt Hardy, I got love for you. I know your girl's nuts, and your brother does too much drugs and alcohol. He's probably doing coke with Tony Khan right now.
Tony, yep.
Not wrong.
Thinking about how they're gonna make this into a storyline and screw you over and get you into another fight with people. I'm just saying, but whatever.
We need that Hardy Boys documentary.
Oh man.
If they don't have one already,
that's gonna be a dark side of the ring. I don't know if you guys ever watch Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes.
That's gonna be a dark side of the ring one day. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, for real.
They expose a lot of things on there.
That dude's a nut. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to keep it too long because we can talk all night long and you would just be here with us and you probably enjoy it and like it. But anyway, so next week, make sure you tune in. Next week is gonna be, we've got back-to-back giant episodes. So next week, we're gonna preview the Royal Rumble, but it's the anniversary of Hulkamania. So it's gonna be a Hulk Hogan themed show. If you love Hulk Hogan, tune in. If you hate Hulk Hogan, tune in. There's probably gonna be stuff on both sides.
Oh,
I'm sure people are gonna. There's a lot of people that don't like Hulk Hogan because all the stuff that he said and stuff that he did. But we're gonna break it all down. We're gonna talk everything from when he beat Iron Sheik in 1986 to teaming up with Mr. T to No Holds Barred movie. We're gonna talk everything Hulk Hogan. We're gonna run down the whole gauntlet. We'll even get into Gawker.
We definitely got to get into that moment of all moments behind you and Nick, right in between the two of you.
Andre the Giant.
Gotta get into that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about the NWO.
That's the beginning of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Gawker's gonna be a good conversation. I don't know, just to kind of give you guys, any of you guys that don't understand the Gawker situation, Hulk Hogan actually Gawker went bankrupt after his lawsuit. They like did a video out on him. They leaked his sex video, and he sued them, right? And their argument was, well, you were on Howard Stern talking about your dick on Howard Stern, so of course we can do that.
Hey, wait a minute. I mean, who doesn't go to Howard Stern and not talk about their dick? Well, I thought that's what Howard Stern. I used to sneak to listen to Howard Stern. Like, they're talking about dick and titties in here.
well, here's the crazy part about it. Do you know why he won that case?
Why?
His argument was, well, that was Hulk Hogan on the Howard Stern show. If you listen to it, Hulk Hogan was talking about how he has a foot-long penis. Terry Bollea doesn't have a foot-long penis.
Oh my God.
And that motherfucker won his case because of that. They were like, you're right.
Hey, yo. Cameron should have been his lawyer. He was like, hey, yo.
But hey, yo. Real talk. So if you want to make sure you cover yourself, right? You want to talk about your sex life on the air or anywhere, make it a character. Talk about your character and make it not real. Exaggerate it.
You got to be like, yo, my boy, right? Let me tell you some story about my boy. So my boy...
Well, like I said, just use a real name. Use a fake name, and that person's got a 3 foot long penis, and then you're good for anything else you do because that's not real.
Yeah, that's the clip right there. That's the name of the title of the episode. 3 foot long penis.
I don't think we'll be able to monetize that one.
Yeah, right.
Hey, OnlyFans.
For real, right?
True.
Well, listen,
tap into the OnlyFans.
So check that out next week, and then the week after that, we're gonna start working on the Smarkies. I'm ready to get that. So we got that coming the week after. So next week, Hulkamania anniversary. Yeah, 40 years. It's gonna be 40 years of Hulkamania. It's gonna be great. I might even get a Hulk Hogan shirt and rip it off. No, I'm not gonna do that. But it's gonna be a good show. Make sure you check it out. I don't even know who's gonna be here with us. I'm guessing you'll probably be here.
Yeah, I'll show up.
I know I'll be in the building.
Maybe Galen will show up. We'll see who shows up. I'm opening the door to anyone that wants to come talk about Hulk Hogan with us. Come be on the show. Let's talk Hulk Hogan. Tell me how much you hate him. Tell me how much you love him. Let's talk 40 years of Mania and then get ready for the Royal Rumble. That's next week. And until then, actually, wait, before we go, anything either of you want to tell people to watch?
Hey, man, just be looking out for some more content. Got a whole bunch of more stuff coming.
Yes, sir.
I want Nick, he'll give you an update about his streaming coming very soon. So I'll let him give a quick update. But just, subscribe, like, follow, share. Sharing is caring. We love y'all. We appreciate everybody who's enjoying the content. Let Nick talk about his thing real quick.
All right, here's the moment. I was on the last one with AG, and I didn't really say much, but I'm locked in now. Anyone that's in the video games, come tap in. I'm going to be doing weekly, bi-weekly episodes. First one's going to be on The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Woo! And The Last of Us in general, the whole franchise, Naughty Dog, all of that stuff. It comes out Friday, so I'm going to be playing it this weekend. And then next week, we could get to recording it.
Let's go!
Dope. And for everybody else, this week, make sure you check out AEW. Will this be out? Will I have this by tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to.
Linnell be working, man.
Oh, I know.
Linnell be working.
So make sure you check out AEW.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night, Dynamite, 8 o'clock on TNT. Check that out. See, Tony, I give you shit for doing a lot of coke, but I'm plugging your show. So just know that. I'm plugging your show, Tony. So know that.
He doesn't hate you.
Right, I don't hate you. I just think you do too much coke, but it's all good.
Rehab.
But he said rehab. But listen, make sure you guys tune in next week. It's gonna be a great show. We'll talk about Hook and Joe too before we get into Hulk Hogan. And next week, Hulkamania is gonna run wild right here. And until then, for Linnell, for Missile, I'm Sean Puff, and this has been Smarks, Spot Monkeys, and Super Gig